You're listening to DraftKings Network.
Owning a business isn't just an occupation. It's a legacy for those you want to pass it on to. At Sandy Spring Trust, succession planning is one of the many aspects of wealth services we provide. We'll work with you one-on-one to answer questions and advise you on valuations, transfer of ownership, and much more. What's your next financial destination? Visit sandyspringbank.com/wealth. Wealth and insurance products are not FDIC insured, not guaranteed, and may lose value. Wealth products offered by Sandy Spring Trust, a division of Sandy Spring Bank.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast.
I can never get to the places I'm trying to get because we get lost and I meander, and I believe Billy has called me now a bit of a yammerer. This takes no inventory of the number of ways that you guys distract me.
Dan, huge breaking news. This is going to shake up the entire sports world. It's probably going to shake up the entire rest of our show. Wow. Taylor came in here and told me the best news that I've heard, I'm going to say all year. Wow. The entirety of the year, okay? Are you guys ready?
This is exciting.
The SEC will not penalize teams for doing horns down. It's not a penalty anymore. Horns down is back. Yes. We are back. Is your life different now? Has it changed?
Can the U still be done upside down?
Oh, I sure hope
but
so.
I don't want to do it because my crime really gets angry and it kind of scares me.
So horns down. He does get angry.
He's a Memphis guy now, though. He
It's
told us yesterday.
Unreasonable. What's happening with Mike in that regard? Nobody can talk to him. Like he's an unreasonable University of Miami guy. The worst manifestations of the worst University of Miami guys you've ever met.
I wonder if Memphis beat FSU. I'm going to text him.
You're just starting to get to know Mike, huh? Sorry about that. I tripped over my words. I don't know what happened there. It was a roller coaster. Yeah. I was scared. I don't want to insult Mike because Mike's in a crazy place right now. I mean, you say in regards to this, I say in regards to everything. I mean, sorry, Mike.
We're talking about Mike Ryan? Mike? So who couldn't do horns down before? Just the crowd or like the other team? Or
Yeah, so it was a penalty. So if another team did like a horns down gesture, that was an unsportsmanlike conduct. But now horns down is back. Everyone can do horns down anywhere they want.
Is that worthy of the breaking news sounds? I mean,
absolutely.
For you it is, but for everyone else?
Yeah, I mean, don't be rude.
I'm sorry.
How do we feel about the sideways you and horns? What? No? Is this a thing?
Who does
sideways?
That?
I'm just
what
saying.
Is that?
We have all these rules
is
for
a bit?
regular, down, like can I do it sideways?
Chris, go sit in the penalty box again.
Okay. So
Go sit.
It would just be a C.
Go sit again in the penalty box. I'm going to try my chances with Billy. I don't love the way that's going to go for me either. The thing I was trying to get to.
Oh, yeah.
The horns down?
No.
Oh.
Bronny,
I lost interest.
I'm going to have a hard time doing this without the connection between video and our executive producer. But the Jaylen Brown lip reading involving Bronny. Did you see it, Stugotz?
I did see it. I saw his Twitter post, his social media post the day after he realized everyone was reading his lips. It was hysterical. It was funny. At least he didn't shy away from it, though.
Well, so everyone, I think, agrees that the Celtics, this hurts me to say this. It hurts me more to say this than to say the Celtics are the champions. The Celtics have one of the best social media teams there are. And the Celtics media relations team protected Jaylen Brown very much from his lip reading. But you guys want to detail for me, because I believe it was LeBron and Wade and that group of Heat players who sort of showed everybody that the way to talk in public, if you don't want things heard, said, interpreted, is to put your jersey or your hand over your mouth while you're speaking. Jaylen's a little new to this game of how you're going to get embarrassed when everyone's watching you. But Jaylen, you're now dating a famous person. You are somebody who is a champion.
Right.
You need to learn. You don't say things you don't want in public. People will read your lips.
In the first row of a game, he said, I don't think Bronny is a pro.
That was the exact quote, turning to the people that he was with. And while he might be right, it's still not the type of thing as the finals MVP as you're wearing a finals championship hat as a Celtic, talking about a Laker, talking about LeBron's kid that you want to see out there in public like that.
Couple things I want to put out in this video. One, you got the generic finals hat. You still wore that one. You have access to a lot of hats. You wore the generic one. I didn't like that. But what I did like was after he said Bronny's not a pro, he gave una mueca.
Yes.
Like saying
something smells bad.
But it hurts to me to say that. Yeah. But it's true, but I want to be nice about it. Like right there. That's the mueca right there. That's like, damn, I wish he was better. He's not, but I don't think he's a pro.
Tony, that is such a good word. It makes me want to make it the word of the day. Mueca. I want a definition for mueca because it's exactly what it is Jaylen Brown was making. And I know that the audio audience cannot see this, but I'm not going to call it a smirk. I am going to say that it's easier to read his face than it was to read his lips, which is he's not a pro. I see that on your face. And also, didn't really want to be sharing that with anybody. Never mind the world, not even the I'm dating. It's my girlfriend who's next to me. It's not, I don't want anybody to misinterpret what my face has to say, which is, it hurts me to say this so much that it looks like I'm smelling something bad right now.
That's why he went to Twitter immediately and quote tweeted the video as it was going viral and said, "It's a flex to have your son alongside you in the NBA. It reflects greatness and longevity. Bronny has all the tools around him to be successful. I look forward to watching his growth."
Kick, save, and a butte.
Well, thank you, Stugotz, for saying that because it is rare around here when I arrive at the subject matter that slowly makes the rocks that are in Stugotz's head tumble and turn, and he's like, Dan, you made me think about something, which is LeBron doing this for his son or not? Am I doing this for my daughters or not when I want them to be champions at lacrosse? And of course I'm doing it for them, but man, it feels good to do it for them, say I'm doing it for just them, when I'm also doing it for me, because I will tell you, I wasn't doing my brother gets to do the art and my dad gets to be on the show for them. I was doing that for me.
Right. Something you wanted to do for them.
Now, neither one of these people are my sons, but I wanted to do it for me. I didn't want to do it for them. It was not for them. My dad didn't particularly want to do it, and my brother didn't need it. Right. I did that for me because I could. So the only reason I bring that up is because LeBron can do whatever he wants. Like, it's as absurd as...
did.
Yeah, but it's not just that. Like, he's pushing the boundaries on the absurdity of, yep, coach is my podcast host. Yep, son plays for the team. Anyone got any objections? Give me the max. 2 years, $100 million. And if you could, you'd have to pay me more for it. If there weren't a salary cap and you wanted it, it would cost you a lot. You're getting me cheap. You're getting my son cheap. You're paying me and my son the way I make money through clutch management and everything else. I don't think people realize that LeBron's going to be so much bigger post all of this than Michael was with just Nike, because he's going to make and do whatever he wants. Whatever he wants in this sport and beyond it, make movies, media stuff. It's going to be crazy to watch what this competitive of a person does against the McAfees and Peyton Mannings and the Tom Bradys when he gets into the sphere that he doesn't have to actually do basketball anymore.
I'm not certain he'll reach the Jordan level. I mean, that's pretty lofty. We'll see. I'm not saying that he won't. I'm not sure.
It doesn't even have to be money, Stugotz. I'm just saying empires. He's going to have players as agents. He's going to own a team. He's going to be able to make movies and content with an ESPN relationship and everything else that allows him to just come over here and say, man, the Peyton Manning deal, Stugotz, is like 9 years, $700 million with ESPN.
It's crazy.
Dad, I love that you said all that. But Stugotz still couldn't help turning it into a LeBron versus Jordan debate.
I mean, he took me there. I mean, he did.
You let him right into it. You should have known better.
Same topic.
Like, oh, you're going to be bigger than Jordan. No, you should have known better. You were never going to get a real answer out of him.
How about make your own? You want to not be Jordan? How about make your own movie that's not Space Jam?
Good point. He did Trainwreck, right?
Yeah, the rest of his movies.
Such a good point by Billy.
That's a good joke by Billy.
I'm certain LeBron is doing most of this for his son. Everyone has different reasons, so I'm trying to apply my sensibilities and my story to what it is we're talking about. And I am certain LeBron is doing most of this for his kid, and as you pointed out, some of this LeBron is doing for himself because he wants to play with his son. He wants to show that he still has the power and the leverage, and he's still running the NBA. And that's a pretty bold flex at the age of 39 for me. But I think he also knows he is putting his son in a great spot. His son's going to make a lot of money. If his son somehow can arrive at a place where he's the fourth or fifth guy off a bench or the last guy in a bench, and he does it for 12 years, that's a great career. The importance and value of team sports, all that stuff I'm certain has factored in to LeBron, and he'll make a lot of money. With me and Rachel, I just try to tell her, hey, don't make some of the mistakes I made growing up, because I could have gone D1 lacrosse, could have gone to a place like, Maryland or Syracuse, or had I taken it seriously. And so there is a part of me, no question about it, that wants Rachel to succeed because I didn't in that sport. And so, yes, some of this is for me. But at the same time, it's good for me, and I know it's great for her. Stugotz here from my friends over at Simply Safe. Imagine a burglary at your home. If you're picturing a shady character sneaking about under the cloak of night, you may be surprised to learn that according to the FBI, most break-ins happen during broad daylight and spike during the summer months as more homes sit unattended and the days grow longer. That's why you need Simply Safe Home Security now. Simply Safe is the only security company I trust my own home and family's protection, offering me peace of mind whether I'm home or away. I have had Simply Safe in my home for many, many years now. I love the fact that I have such peace of mind when I am away because I have access to my entire house. With Fast Protect monitoring and Live Guard protection, Simply Safe agents can act within 5 seconds of receiving your alarm and can even see and speak to intruders to stop them in their tracks. Protect your home this summer with 20% off any new Simply Safe system when you sign up for Fast Protect monitoring. Just visit simplysafe.com/DLB. That's simplysafe.com/DLB. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Dan Le Batard.
He seems like a not nice guy, and he's always been a not nice guy. I don't care for him, and I hope he has the day he deserves.
Stugotz.
I hope he has the day he deserves.
That's how I get people when they're really mean to me. I'm not like, go F yourself. I'm like, I hope you have the day you deserve.
It's a great kind insult. Yes.
It's beautiful.
It's leaving it to the cosmos to sort it out.
That's a less Southern bless your heart.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
Let me see if I can engage Lucy Stugotz with just a comedic name of a crafty pitcher that she will have no context for, that is funny just because of his name.
Okay.
Frank Tanana.
Oh, that's great.
No? Damn, it's going to be hard.
Frank Tanana?
It's going to be hard.
Tanana.
It's going to be hard.
Tanana.
I didn't say it was bad. I just said
It sounds like banana.
It does sound like banana.
I'm not certain Frank Tanana ever reached 80 on the gun. I'm serious.
I'm gonna have to work on this game to see. I think the goal should be, because Jessica doesn't like this game when we play it with Mike Schur. Mike Schur loves the funny name game. All of his characters and all of his television shows have ridiculous names because his son, they love to do names. I need to reach you here, so let's see if we can make the goal of the game should be, can we make Lucy laugh with a funny name of a crafty pitcher just because the name is funny? In the interim, give me the stat of the day music, please.
Start of the day, start of the day. It is the start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. It is the start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. It is the start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. It is the start of the day.
I think I've got a really good one, and it allows us to make Stat of the Day something that can go outside of sports, because I would like to start giving people some facts with this that really blow their mind outside of sports. And I think I'm going to surprise everybody in the room with this one. I might not. You are more likely to die, 15 times more likely to die from a coconut than from a shark.
I knew that.
Everyone knew that?
Yeah.
Really?
Everyone here knew that
Yeah.
you're 15 times more likely to be killed by a coconut?
That's a stat that always ends up on the Reddit thread of what's an interesting fact that you know, and I read those and watch those TikToks religiously. So
Well, get me more of them, because I want to learn more things like that, because I had not considered the possibility that coconuts were out here killing a great many people, that there were 150 people who died every year from coconuts and only 10 from sharks.
But thank you for undercutting it, Lucy.
Well, all of you apparently knew. Nobody. It didn't seem like anybody was surprised
Well,
by it.
sharks can't fall from trees on your head.
That's the thing. It's a classic coconut off the tree, hits you right in the head, you're done.
If it happens, it happens, right? Yeah.
You exist in the context of, I forgot the end of this quote,
Of which you
in
live.
which you live and came before you.
I didn't know,
Coconut.
Dan.
Thank you, Chris.
Do you think more people have access to coconuts or sharks? I guess coconuts, right? Because you think there's definitely places that are landlocked where a shark's not going to kill you, but is that the right climate to grow a coconut tree? I don't know.
Ocean, pretty vast.
Yeah, but there's lots of people that don't have access to the ocean.
Do any of these people die in the ocean from the coconut?
I would
Ooh,
assume
wow,
that
that's
The
a good
coconut
question,
hits them,
Dan.
they stumble into the
Does that
ocean.
stat say how many people are killed by coconuts in the ocean? Did it say?
Hold on. Let me see how
Just check.
Stugotz has this happening.
That was Chris.
So yes, probably when people, if the stat were, I think you've got this right. If the stat, how many people in the ocean have been killed by coconuts, I think it might be sharks that are killing more people than coconuts.
People are pretty stupid, though.
But only if I'm willing to consider Stugotz's example, which is a person has been hit on land by the coconut, but then staggers into the ocean, because if it's 10 times as many than sharks, maybe of that percentage, more than 10 are staggering into the ocean to die.
Can I ask you guys a shark question? So, I don't know if you guys saw this over the 4th of July weekend. I think it was actually on the 4th of July. I think that it was in Texas. There was one beach where 3 different people got attacked by a shark. So I'm kind of wondering how you guys handle that, because I feel like if I'm at a place where someone gets attacked by a shark, do you think, well, that was it. That was the shark attack. I'm good now? Or you get out of the water? Because most people probably get out of the water, but I can understand the logic of, well, that was a shark attack. I'm not going to get attacked, right? But also,
it's also airplane logic.
after the
that plane
second
just crashed, my
time,
plane's
then I
good.
think maybe, do you think, well, 3 people aren't going to get attacked by a shark today? That's crazy. How could that possibly happen? And then it happens.
Like this beach has hit its allotment?
Yeah. Well, Dan said 10 people get killed by a shark a year. 3 in one day.
Right.
They didn't get killed. They just lost calves. It's kind of traumatic, gross looking. You don't want a shark to bite off your calf.
Forgetting off the top of my
I had
head.
a classmate get attacked by a shark. It's a baby shark, though. Not the song. That one, honestly, the baby shark song did a bad job of making baby sharks seem friendly, like they can't attack you. But my friend from high school, Ricky Lavinia, we weren't friends at the time. He was cooler than me. But Ricky Lavinia got attacked by a shark, bit into his side. I was on vacation. I came back to that news. It was Memorial Day weekend. Little baby shark. It was 7th or 8th grade. Yeah. A lot of traumatic things.
Have you tried to reconnect with that guy? Because now that you have a really cool job, you can be like, I'm cooler than you now.
I feel like I may hear from Ricky Lavinia in the coming days.
Do you do that, Chris?
No, I don't do that. But if I had a bully, I may have had a bully in high school.
I didn't. No,
I make sure
whoa.
I friend request a kid or two.
Let's clear Ricky's name. I never said Ricky was a bully. I said he got attacked by a shark.
Well, he was too cool for you, you implied at one point.
No, I said he was cooler than me. Lots of people are cooler than me. In fact, 90% of the people are cooler than me.
I don't think anyone's cooler than you when you're walking through security doing guns out. Well, only these.
That was my moment. I peaked there, yeah.
Your coolest moment.
That was my Letterman jacket moment.
Well, what's going on with you? Because you say you're peaked.
In general, I have no idea.
Well, I've got a question for you, because it seems in some places like you might be trying to grow, because I understand you're now trying to aspire to social clubs. That you've told Tony that you will not come tonight, and he told you not to come. And you said if you're not invited, I don't come to places I'm not invited. I don't think you would go if you were invited. But are you trying to be a more sociable person?
No. Well, I mean, first of all, I didn't tell him I wasn't going to come. I was told not to come, so I didn't go. I have this thing, and I don't know if you guys were like similar. The answer is no. I don't think any of you were similar. But like, if you go back to like high school, there would be times where there's like parties where there was like a list, right? And like, I just wouldn't go because I didn't want to face the embarrassment of not being on the list without even knowing if I was or wasn't, without knowing if I would be put on this. If there was a list at a thing, I probably just don't show up because I just assume always I'm not on the list. So like for Tony's thing tonight, I was told don't come to Tony tonight. So I didn't come to Tony tonight. Because I was asked not to come specifically, and I don't want to get here and then have Frankie tell me you're not allowed in, you're not on the list. How embarrassing is that? And this is like a long drive for Frankie to then tell me, turn around, you're not on the list, you can't come. And I'm like, well, I work here. And he's like, well, you're not on the list, you're not going into Tony tonight. So I wouldn't show up because I don't want to be turned away. And social club, yes, I am somewhat involved in a social club, if that's what you want to call it. I'm involved.
So what are you, like a Knights of Columbus kind of thing? Like the Rotary Club, Moose Lodge? Like, what are you doing?
It's a burger club.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So Burger Beast down here, he has a burger club that anyone can be part of it, really. I shouldn't be telling the secrets, but that's how you just, follow his Patreon. You can become a member of the burger club.
No, but you're great. No, what do you mean you shouldn't be telling secrets?
Well, because I don't know if I'm supposed to be publicizing this and then the burger club gets out of control because too many people want to join the burger club.
I think Burger Beast would like if it gets out of control because it's behind a paywall. So
well, here's the thing. So you can subscribe to his thing, you can join his Patreon, you become a member, then you're part of the Burger Club, and then every once in a while there's burger meetings. And in these burger meetings, I attended one this week, you get previews of different burgers and different, like, I had croquetas that I tried. But here's the thing that I don't know is their products before their launch. So I don't know if I'm allowed to tell people the products that I'm sampling. Like, I won't tell you the brand because I don't know if I'm allowed to tell the brand. I had an arroz con pollo croqueta.
Be careful.
That was like, what is this? How did we come up with this?
That sounds wonderful.
And there's a company that was testing this, and I tested it, and it was delish. But I don't know if I could say the company because I don't know if these are secret things. I don't know.
Are these like friends of the show people?
I'm new to the club. I'm new to the Burger Club. So I don't know quite yet if it's a secret society. And I don't know if I'm allowed to be telling people what is going on at the burger meetings.
The first rule of Burger Club is don't talk about Burger Club. I mean, everyone knows that.
But to Tony's point, it helps Burger Beast if you follow him and you join the Burger Club, I would assume. So, like, there's probably a certain amount that you want to, publicize it, but I also don't want to then,
Are you looking for ways to get out of the house? Is that essentially what's going on?
No, I'm actively looking for ways to stay in the house.
Put it on the poll, please, at Le Batard Show. Would you join a club that only sits around talking about burgers?
The coconut death is real, guys. In 2010, the Indian government removed all coconuts from the trees surrounding the Gandhi Museum because they were worried they would hit President Obama in the head while he was there and potentially kill him. Could you imagine?
Where are you getting your coconut facts that everyone seems to know?
Death by Coconut Wikipedia page.
Okay. What else is on there? Is there anything else on there?
Coconuts.com.
Yeah, there's a reference to all the times it's been referenced in pop culture, which includes Gilligan's Island, a song called Killed by a Coconut, written by Shel Silverstein. Bob Denver apparently had a lyric about coconuts killing people. Keith Richards. There was a rumor that Keith Richards had a concussion based off of being hit in the head by a coconut, but really, he had just been drunk and fell out of a tree.
I have a concert question for you guys, for the class, for all of you who want to participate in this. So it was revealed that the person that performed at the All-Star game that is now in rehab actually opened a concert that both Tony and Jeremy were at a month ago. So they saw this person perform and they were unaware of this. Do you guys have people that opened a concert for you that then went on to be like big stars that you didn't realize at the time, and then you look back and you're like, oh my God, like this person's huge?
Jim Carrey opened at a comedy club in Los Angeles one time. The first time I ever saw Jim Carrey.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, Dan.
Do you remember thinking
you
to yourself,
seeing?
as
Yeah,
you're
game over.
watching him do his thing, are you thinking to yourself, this guy's going to be a massive
Yes,
star?
of course.
Did he
I'm
do
that
alrighty
kind of-
then?
I'm kind of that.
You're a visionary. I mean,
Yes, I'm that
right.
kind of talent scout.
Comedic visionary.
Yes, I foresaw everything that he. But he was clearly very, very
Or on
physically
drugs.
talented.
Who was the main guy? Who was the main comedian that
I think
night?
it was Louis Anderson. I think so.
not bad.
I think so. Yeah.
Worst Family Feud host.
Put it on the poll, please. At Le Batard Show, was Louis Anderson, may he rest in peace, the best Family Feud, the worst Family Feud host, and also put it on the poll. Did you know that 15 times more people died by coconut than shark every year?
Did Jim Carrey steal the show that night? Like
He was pretty great, but it was a pretty, everybody was pretty great. But yes,
Was he smoking?
2 minutes.
No, that was all right. No, that's all right. You can stay. We've done a poor job, I think, of, again, promoting both pitch count and
Pitch clock.
Jesus.
Did you know Louis Anderson was on a celebrity diving show?
Yes.
I think with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, right?
No way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. Look at that list of people. Those were the two best. No, those were the two best. I want to bring that back. Those were the two best. So the show,
Called
Pitch Clock,
Splash. Oh, Chris, hit it. Splash.
the show Pitch Clock with Jeremy and David Sampson.
Not David Sampson every week. He'll be there sometimes. It's called the Pitch Clock. We play a nostalgic trivia game because we just like naming old baseball players, but then I'll also speak to an expert every week. That's where David Sampson might come in, and we will force feed modern baseball information down your throat. And it's because, Dan, look, I know what the fans of this show are most interested in.
Lucy doesn't want that.
It's baseball and hearing more of my voice.
Yeah, Lucy doesn't seem to be interested at all. But we've also done a very poor job of celebrating and advertising Tony Tonight.
Big night. Tony
That's
Tonight,
actually
part
the Tony
two.
Show.
Tony Tonight coming up.
Tonight
We're actually
Show.
filming some stuff in
the
August.
Tony Tonight Show.
Exciting Tony Tonight episodes coming soon.
Is it featuring the pitch count?
So tonight
Wait,
is
so
not.
what's today
Tonight's
called?
the Tony Show, as you can see above.
This is a hockey
the
show
Tony
all over
Show.
again.
The Tony Show tonight, but Tony Tonight is not tonight.
Tony Tonight has always been a clip during the day, too.
But
Yeah,
the hockey
that's
show is
odd.
the post-game show.
Why is that?
And the
Because it's only
post-game show was not the hockey show.
No, but yet also the Tony Tonight never airs at night.
I know, because we shoot during the day.
Then why is it called that?
Tony Today?
So just to be clear, tonight Tony's hosting the Tonight Show.
Bingo.
Yeah, you got it.
In a world of slot reels and blackjack deals comes the must-play event of the summer from DraftKings Casino, featuring non-stop action and an all-star cast of games, including A-lister Loki's Luck. This summer's blockbuster is one you won't want to miss. Plus, new players can get $100 instantly in casino credits with just a $1 wager, and all players get a blockbuster bonus every week. Sign up with code DLS and grab your popcorn. It's showtime on DraftKings Casino.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Or in West Virginia, visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. 21 and over. Physically present in Connecticut, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, West Virginia only. Void in Ontario. Eligibility and other restrictions apply. New customers only. $1 wager to earn $100 in non-withdrawable casino credits that expire in 168 hours. Terms at casino.draftkings.com/blockbuster.
Don Le Batard.
Your history with him suggests 3 years of
Those are the
heatering out
heaters,
there.
yeah.
3 years of heaters. But this Stugotz, my partner, enlivened by a sports
We're
team,
having sex, baby.
and Joe Mauer, yes, like this is the best version
What?
of him. That's what
Stugotz.
No, you are.
Yeah, feels good.
This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
Stugotz, I know that many people in our audience, beyond our audience, think of me as an overly woke know-it-all. So I am going to admit to all of you listening to this that I often feel like a total fool because I don't know where my blind spots are as it relates to women. And I'm forever learning from my wife things that teach me that coming from a Cuban background where all I saw was women serving men, that I have some things wrong that I've never before seen in my life, that I am grateful that I have a woman I love and trust to teach me. And the reason I bring all of this up is because I walked in the other day and my mother, Freudian slip, my wife looking at...
Very Freudian.
Yeah, the most Freudian.
Wow.
The most
As Freudian as it gets.
Yes, that's the maximum Freudian slip. That's correct. Yeah. She's looking at the phone and she just, one single sort of spit laugh that wasn't really a laugh. It was sort of a dark laugh. And it's because she was reading a tweet that pointed out that a certain kind of book for women is put in the self-improvement section, and that same kind of book for men is put in the leadership section. Because men sort of need a whole bunch of things to cover up their insecurities so they can maximum man out, and Dana White can say what a man Trump is, because the brave thing to do is stick your head out when there's an active shooter. That's what a man does. A man sticks his head out and shows people how much of a man he is, when men can largely, I am proof, be idiots, be coddled, and in the cases of Greg Cody, Tim Kirkshin, and me, the women are often raising men the same way that they're raising their kids. Greg Cody knows how to do like one thing and everything else about him as a child. Tim Kirkshin knows how to do one thing and everything else about him as a child.
I've been Abby's toughest project. I mean, seriously.
Well, Greg Cody is still not grown. Both of Greg Cody's kids are more grown than he is. And I, too, am lumping myself in here. But I give you all of that as context because I really do think some of what's happening as men gather around and are like threatened by confident, badass, trash-talking women who might be more competitive and tougher than some of the men that you think are so tough. When Asia Wilson does this in a game to her teammates, now keep in mind, this is the best of the best in that sport. We can obsess with Caitlin Clark and everyone else, but this is the best that there is. And the Aces lost a game. And Asia Wilson's not here to meet Usher. She's here to crush everybody and doesn't really want her teammates fooling around with Usher after a game because, Usher's here. Isn't it cute? Asia Wilson wants to kill everybody.
Crusher.
As Reese was getting some love from her coach. And Asia Wilson did all that she could do with another double-double, 28 points, 14 rebounds. But Usher and Asia Wilson.
I will tell you, Stugotz, in a moment that hurts me to admit, okay, very young in my dating life, I was dating a Rutgers basketball player who just crushed me one-on-one basketball. And I couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle that I couldn't be good enough to play with her.
You couldn't handle the losing. Like, how badly did she beat you?
Yeah, she was a college basketball player.
Dominated.
She could. Like, I wasn't able to do. I thought I was something, and what came out of me after that was not confident. So, what I wanted to ask the group on this, because I do believe this is going to happen. I believe as more and more people start paying attention to women's basketball, they're going to be made uncomfortable by how competitive it is because they're used to seeing men that way. And when Caitlin Clark gets pushed, we don't know enough about ourselves or the sport to not have an overreaction when women are as competitive or more competitive or tougher than men. That we don't know how to process it, don't know how to talk about it. And so we'll see Asia Wilson do this or be more competitive than this and be made uncomfortable by something not appearing quote unquote ladylike.
That was a very normal, rational thing from A'ja Wilson. It wasn't really weird, and it's also not out of A'ja's sort of. Asia's without a doubt the best player in the WNBA right now, but she's probably the best competitor in the WNBA. Earlier this season, the Aces went through kind of a nasty losing streak, I believe 5 or 6 games, and A'ja Wilson cried at a press conference about it. She is someone who takes losses and not winning very, very deeply and internalizes that. So when you see her kind of making that remark of you guys didn't do shit all game and now you're taking a picture with Usher, that was legitimate, but it's also a very normal thing. And I haven't seen much of a reaction of that's not ladylike. I think you should just kind of evaluate what ladylike means. It doesn't mean fucking anything. That's a made up fucking thing.
That's correct.
I like that, Lucy.
This reminds me of a play-by-play thing that would happen with Jimmy Butler, where he's calling out other guys on the team for going to see somebody who's a star, but then also taking a picture and hugging the person who's a star.
Oh, that's the most Jimmy Butler thing that exists.
But A'ja Wilson is not the only one. Let's be very, very clear. We had this discussion when Caitlin Clark had those couple of nights where they had hard fouls and everyone was complaining. Women are competitive. Women athletes are competitive. And for those of you who don't know that by now, it's simply because you haven't been around women's sports. You haven't been paying attention. They're fiercely competitive. Why would you think they're any different than men when it comes to that?
Right. This is not some brand new discovery.
Right.
Anyone paying attention to women's sports should already know.
Oh, but I will tell you that one thing that is new, you say this is on brand for A'ja Wilson. I have not seen a whole lot of male athletes get caught publicly saying, hey, my teammates were shit and just lost. I was okay.
She was great. She's always great.
I was okay, but my teammates were shit.
Go back to Jimmy Butler. I said it quite a few times.
I'm just saying you don't see it that often, and if you see it, we will make a lot of controversy around someone pointing out, look, I've told you guys before, okay, one of the great crimes in sports is knowing how good you are unless you win, because we don't like arrogance. We prefer humility. So when someone as a teammate who you already don't like for whatever your reasons, she's a woman, she's black, whatever your reasons, you don't like this person. When that person does something that puts her above the team, that person better win, because that is not something I see a whole lot in male sports, the public giving off of being okay with my teammates sucked and I was great. And I'm the reason we win, and they're the reason we lost.
But you have to be someone where that is the case in order to say it.
She is.
LeBron is. Michael is. Certain people are. It's when you get to other people saying it where it gets ridiculous.
But I don't see a lot of the best in sports actually doing that. Now, Stugotz, they feel that way on the inside, all of them.
Yes.
Very few say it out loud in ways that are caught by cameras so that everyone can hear, hey, I know I'm better than my teammates. And incidentally, that's actual leadership.
Yes.
When she says, you guys are this okay with losing? I'm not, and I'm doing more than you are.
I think it's important to have the context of the Aces have won the last 2 championships in this league. They have far and away been the best team in the WNBA for years now. And they are a team that doesn't kind of mind, being tough to one another or sort of giving the jab where it's needed. This is very normal behavior for any sports team, and it's very normal for the Aces. This kind of feels like a big giant nothing burger to me.
You're saying no one on that team is surprised by what A'ja Wilson had to say?
No, I mean, she's a leader. She's a fierce competitor. She's called out teams before, and I also think it's important. The Aces have been so good the last few years. They've really struggled this season compared to the last couple years. They've gone through losing streaks. They've had a ton of injuries. This is a team that's kind of dealing with losing for the first time in a while, and it's all a very normal reaction, and I kind of hate this conversation, if I'm being totally honest, just because it is never, ever a conversation we would have about anything else. If this clip were an NBA player or an NFL player, it'd be a funny TikTok that we'd scroll past, and then that would be the end of it. So this is very
Do you
normal
think I'm
behavior.
making it a controversy as opposed to just interesting?
I think men are. I don't think it's you. I think it's just people who are experiencing, watching competitive women for the first time in their life, and it's just something that their tiny brains can't handle.
But Lucy, I have a tiny brain, and I'm telling you, if someone did this on an NBA team, I would pray, and if they were good enough, I would praise them for their leadership. I would say that's leadership. That's how you do it.
I think the point would be to just sort of skip past maybe the first part of the conversation, the conversation that people are having. Like, we should either be crushing A'ja Wilson or praising A'ja Wilson and just talking about it in that respect. That's the thing where we need to get with these sports. Stop being like surprised that A'ja Wilson, this unbelievable athlete, oh, she's competitive and speaking with snark about her teammates. That's what Jimmy Butler would do, or another great player in the NBA. And we'd take that video and half of us would laugh at it and half of us would crush him.
I would say that some of us would get uncomfortable once it escalates to Udonis Haslem and Spo want to fight you. Once it gets to that point, I'm guessing that is the place where that stuff gets sort of extreme, where Udonis Haslem doesn't like so much that you're telling everybody that you're better than he is.
Stugotz here from my friends over at Simply Safe. Imagine a burglary at your home. If you're picturing a shady character sneaking about under the cloak of night, you may be surprised to learn that according to the FBI, most break-ins happen during broad daylight and spike during the summer months as more homes sit unattended and the days grow longer. That's why you need Simply Safe Home Security now. Simply Safe is the only security company I trust my own home and family's protection, offering me peace of mind whether I'm home or away. I have had Simply Safe in my home for many, many years now. I love the fact that I have such peace of mind when I am away because I have access to my entire house. With Fast Protect monitoring and Live Guard protection, Simply Safe agents can act within 5 seconds of receiving your alarm and can even see and speak to intruders to stop them in their tracks. Protect your home this summer with 20% off any new Simply Safe system when you sign up for Fast Protect monitoring. Just visit simplysafe.com/DLB. That's simplysafe.com/DLB. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Okay, you say, I want some breakfast. Your so-called boyfriend says, we got eggs in the fridge. Obviously, when you say breakfast, you mean McDonald's. Definitely a side-eye situation.
Bring home the bacon, steak patty, or others with a BOGO for $1 breakfast. Only in the app. Limited time only at participating McDonald's. Valid once a day. Must opt into rewards. Visit McD app for details.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.